Welcome to Skin in the Game 2. This show was originally exhibited in Fremantle at the PSAS in September 2020, and now we're in Northcliffe at the Painted Tree Gallery. I guess while I talk, just going to do close-ups of the works and the didactics, so I'll just ramble away. But yeah, so Skin in the Game 2 and Skin in the Game sits in the same theme of my response to being me, Persian African descent, British born and Australian raised, having my skin in an Australian canvas, looking at the responses and my reactions to that. It's not so much as a full stop in that conversation, it's more my response. I look at painting brown in things like these two selfies, which is a continuation from mini selfies that I had in Skin in the Game in Fremantle. Both of the Skin in the Games, I'm just going to say Skin in the Game, looks at relationships from self, domestic, social and political. It's sort of like a playful or a gentle nod at who's speaking, who's being silenced. Yeah, I guess relationships, full stop. The works in Northcliffe in this Skin in the Game 2 are a collection of previously exhibited works from Skin in the Game in Fremantle to Skin in the Games in Northcliffe. I'm so happy, but a lot of the works, more of the works moved from Skin in the Game in September, and the idea originally was to pick up the show, or what was left of it, and bring it to Northcliffe, to the Painted Tree Gallery, but a lot more works moved, so it was kind of like a short interim where I produced a few new works to exhibit with some of the original works from Skin in the Game. This is one of the newest works. It's writing the tales of exotic, which still, I think, plays on the response or the reaction that I guess I've had personally to being a brown-skinned woman. Maybe sometimes I feel like I'm actually not that exotic at all, and maybe you're at a bar and someone's like, oh, where are you from? And then you say you're Persian African, and it's like, wow, it's really exotic, and it's not really, because I'm just me. Yeah, this is one of the original works from Skin in the Game, Visceral Stability. I think the new works, such as the two new selfies and the three lovers and the exotic, I think they sit really nicely with the original existing body of works. So that's this kind of talk. These two mini selfies are not for sale. They sold in the original Skin in the Game. The people that bought them, well, one doesn't know that it's here, but the other one's like, yeah, that's mine, give it to me when the show's over. So these are the first round of the self, looking at self, the idea of the selfie, looking at brown skin and how that brown palette sits with a whole pile of other hues. These two works around the corner. I've been painting in the gallery, so it's a little bit ramshackle. I'm just moving my stuff out of the gallery, so sorry, it's a bit messy. This is Breath Down My Neck and Fighting Intimacy. These two were from the original Skin in the Game. This one's already sold, about that idea of how we love in relationships, but even my experience of working in community with disability, Indigenous, refugee, migrant. Sometimes I've seen others, or maybe even myself, when we care, we suffocate. This one was just an interesting play on that thing, how a love and fight can look really similar. Just that idea of, using models either either making love or in a wrestle, but they sit really closely, which is that, I guess, the same thing about relationships. Inviting alone is another work that was in the original Skin in the Game. This work was literally me loving playing with all those beautiful different tones of browns and red, transparent and opaque. And out of it came a figure which, I guess, like everyone, you kind of are alone in this conversation with yourself. So it was just a nice birthing in that look at brown skin. And this paperwork, Mechanism Feelings, some of the works really work, I think, all together. This one sort of almost stands alone. It was in a series of maybe 8 other works that small on paper, and there was a slight conversation. They were, I mean, obviously I'm not a realist painter, but the obscure nature of this particular work I felt sat a little bit easier with the other works from Skin in the Game. I'm not even going to bother explaining where my brain went with that, but that's that one. And Birthing Black is a new paperwork. I had 4 paperworks the same size in Skin of the Game, so it's reminiscent of that size work. I love working on paper. I almost have to force myself off paper, so this is that idea of, it's the first time I've ever painted myself in skin colour, so it's a nice play of me, and that idea of celebrating, I guess, being a woman of colour. The light reflection here is probably terrible and really hard to take, but. And then the last work was the work that was used basically, I think, for most of the marketing for Skin in the Game in Frio, and this is the first time I've ever done a print of an original work. This is Suffragettes Cuddle, based on the first woman of colour who fought for the suffragettes, and I was looking at her and reading about her, and I guess my mind went into, I wondered if any of the suffragettes ever wanted a cuddle. And yeah, basically that's Skin in the Game too. It's a total honour to be amongst the big trees here in Northcliffe, and I'm excited to share this with you. Thank you.